So, now we're with
Come
Keira,
on.
and we're in this Elven ruin looking for Ciri with Keira. And let's see what
Gvella
happens.
Glan.
Nice. I really need to do better about saving after every time I loot something nice like that. Just to, you know, make sure.
The Wild Hunt.
What? Phantom Riders? That means... I thought they didn't exist.
Feast your eyes on the non-existent then. Got a navigator with them.
What?
Can you teleport us to the other side?
I'd rather teleport us home. Do you really mean to follow them?
Teleport. Hurry up.
Not sure I like any of this.
So the Wild Hunt is here looking for Ciri too, apparently. They are hot on her trail, just like we are. That's not a good sign.
Ready. Follow me.
Damn portals. Wonder where Keira is now.
Uh-oh.
Not that.
See, I've learned my lesson about diving to get somewhere I need to go. Or I started to, anyway. He sure can't hold his breath for a long time. That's probably a Witcher thing, too.
Come on.
Yeah. Gotta watch out for that poison gas. That's definitely something you need to pay attention to. Witchers, like sorceresses, are infertile. It's a really interesting aspect of this world, is that anyone who dabbles too much in magic essentially loses their ability to have children. So yeah, witchers, mages, sorceresses cannot have children. They're all infertile. It seems to be mostly an effect of having a lot of exposure to a magical energy that seems to do it, I believe. And witchers are mostly infertile due to their mutations, the mutations that they go through, which many of which are sort of magical in nature as well. So I think it definitely has something to do with magic exposure. And this is where I'm like, alright, I need to meditate so that I can get my potions back before I do anything else.
Keira!
foglets. Interesting.
Do something! They're crawling out of those holes! Use a sign or bombs, anything!
Stay calm. They're only rats.
I hate rats! Get them off! Ah!
This is one of those dumb things that I just have so many problems with. I had to figure it out. It took me forever.
Disgusting!
So I knew I needed to destroy these nests, right? I got the first one. It told me to do it. And I didn't have a problem.
What now, you
Do you
piece
know
of
the
filth?
diseases they
But-
spread?
Then I had to destroy the other one. And that gave me problems.
Disgusting.
Because I thought it was going to tell me to destroy it like the other one had, but it did not, in fact, do that.
Get them off! Ah!
See, I was trying to like get into position where it would tell me, okay, press E to destroy this
Do you know the
nest,
diseases they spread?
like the other one did. But it never did that. So I got kind of frustrated with it after a little bit because I just
Disgusting.
kept having these little rats attacking me, and I was trying to destroy this damn nest. I knew I had to do that, but I wasn't sure how I needed to do that.
Get them off! Ah!
I was like, I can't do it. How do I do it? And then I just threw a bomb at it, and you know, bombs fix everything.
Do you know
That's
the
a good
diseases
rule
they
to have.
spread?
Bombs fix everything, kids.
Disgusting.
Like, I don't know, yeah, Geralt's just like, he kills all these kind of ghouls and rat fiends and drowners, and Kira's just like, rats. So there we
You
go.
that afraid of rats? Could have annihilated them with one spell. Fine, won't say anything. So what happened to you?
There's something here. Something that distorts teleportation. I've no idea how they managed to get to the other side problem-free.
Wild Hunt's teleportation magic is different. Got specially trained mages for that. Navigators, they call them.
They can have 3 helmsmen and a parrot for all I care. I'll not risk that again.
Let's go. Wild Hunt got a good head start on us, but we still stand a chance.
Have you gone completely mad? We must leave here at once.
No.
I gotta know what the Wild Hunt's doing here.
But we came to find the Elven mage, not fight the hunt.
If they reach him first, we won't get a chance to talk to him. Besides,
Go on, finish. Wait, you've got some special interest in the hunt. Is this about Ciri? There's something you've not told me, isn't there?
come with me and maybe I will.
Sure.
Are you always like this? I'm beginning to feel sorry for Triss and Yen.
Oh,
Hey,
very
now.
well. Let's go. Gavella Glan.
Not like they didn't choose it. I mean, come on. Well, I mean, Yennefer kind well, that's a weird situation.
Larena Lune. Henne. Sevate Larena Lunet.
That's him! That's the elf!
Arvek Tva Glediv.
What was that? An illusion?
No, a morphotic projection.
Oh, what?
A what projection?
Something akin to a postbox for mages. Much safer than an ordinary letter, which anyone can intercept en route to its recipient.
Message was definitely for Ciri, daughter of the Gull. Laura Doran's heir.
Indeed. It is what the elves would title Ciri. But what was the bit about the sign of her sword? A riddle?
Yeah, not a hard one, though. Not if you know Ciri named her sword Ciri, Swallow.
Come now. Who aside from you would know that?
Might have been the point. Your elven mage secured the passage, hid it, so that only Ciri could find it.
He failed to foresee that someone like you would show up.
Nevertheless, I think he was expecting uninvited guests. Made some preparations. Let's hope the Wild Hunt ran into some obstacles.
Well then, let's go. Do you think following the swallows will suffice?
We'll see.
So it's interesting, this idea that, like, Geralt is in such a special position in Ciri's life that he knows these things that nobody else knows about her.
An old elven port.
Must have been how they got here by sea.
I wonder how long ago that was.
Careful. That oily yellow vapor, it's toxic.
I hardly need instruction from you. I recognized the Vulpine Morel immediately.
Vesemir told me that soon after he'd learned to cast Igni, he tried it out on a patch of these mushrooms.
Terrible idea. What happened?
Well, he survived. And wounds heal awfully quick on young witchers. Come on.
Have a taste! You'll regret that!
I don't know why I lost my sword there. Sometimes I don't draw the sword as fast as I want to, and then I hit the button to draw it, and then I draw the sword and put it away, and it's weird. That's weird. And then I died because, again, poisoning the gas clouds. Gotta pay more attention to the gas clouds. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. This is the part where I'm like, self, you really should save more often.
An old elven port.
Must have been how they got here by sea.
I wonder how long ago that was.
Careful. That oily yellow vapor, it's toxic.
I hardly need instruction from you. I recognized the Vulpine Morel immediately.
Vesemir told me that soon after he'd learned to cast Igni, he tried it out on a patch of these mushrooms.
Terrible idea. What happened?
Well, he survived. And wounds heal awfully quick on young witchers. Come on.
This is definitely a tricky bit here. Always gotta get the potions back. So yeah, you'll notice as sort of the fights get a little tougher, the bad guys get a little bit bigger and start smacking you around a little bit harder. You know, I tend to kind of take my time with it. I'm more interested in, you know, sort of surviving and whittling them down, even if it takes a while, than I am in trying to kill things as fast as I possibly can, so.
How is the water?
Refreshing. Don't know what you're missing.
Swallow. Seems we're headed the right way.
I like it when the NPC finds it before you do. And you're like, what? Oh yeah, sure, that thing. Time to climb. That particular button combination is a little bit rough to hit correctly, as you may have noticed if you've been watching this. It's a little tough for me to hit correctly, due to the way I tend to play games on my PC with my keyboard and mouse. Because in order to do that climbing thing, you have to hit W and S and the space bar, I think, at the same time. It's weird.
Look, it's rather similar to that other pillar with the projection.
Cyril, ni forda sol esser in. Cyril, ni forda sol esser in. Einsilla kelpi.
Kelpie? Does he mean that sea monster?
No, that's what Ciri named her mare. Horse could apparently gallop like a demon.
Good name for a horse. So, shall we look for it? Gavella Glan.
Hunting dog. Can't see any connection to Kelpie.
Must you touch everything? Geralt, are you all right?
You might say so.
Oops.
I wonder what all this means. They look hastily scribbled on with lime.
A sea monster. Looks a bit like a Karen.
Geralt, what the hell is that?
Another security measure. Damn it all.
Oh boy.
Damn it.
Do you think it's a mind game of some sort? You know, can you defeat yourself? Are you willing to? Perhaps these apparitions believe they are real.
Sorry, I just don't share your doubts. Know exactly which one of you's real. Now focus on the fight.
Have a taste! stamina!
Fighting yourself in a game is always really interesting because, you know, you realize how overpowered you are compared to most of the things you're actually fighting in a game. When you're essentially fighting an NPC version of yourself with all of your powers and abilities. Because it's usually, in most games that I've had to do something like this, it tends to be a very tough fight. Even at a low level like this, it can be very tough because the games are always giving you a lot of, you know, skills and abilities and things that just other creatures and other NPCs just are not going to have. You are effectively always going to be overpowered in most games like this. And so your biggest challenge is, you know, fighting yourself, because nothing else is going to have the abilities that you have except for yourself. I know there's a point in Dragon Age Origins where you have to fight like a doppelganger version of your party, and it's always interesting to do. It's always one of the most challenging parts of the game, no matter what level you're doing it at. Because of that very reason. And I know, you know, another example I have is in Mass Effect, the Mass Effect 3 Citadel DLC gives you an opportunity to again fight a doppelganger of yourself in an arena fight, you know. And it's one of the toughest fights in the game. You get a special achievement if you can manage it, because it is really difficult.
Anything like that ever happened to you before?
Well, almost. While back, a certain Doppler took a shot at impersonating me.
Yes? And?
He hated being me. Felt uncomfortable. Dopplers are kind-hearted by nature.
I'd like to meet a Doppler. If they're kind-hearted by nature. So yeah, this is another point at which I'm like, well, now what do I do? Do I have to drop down this well? And of course, I eventually do have to do that.
Sirel, ni forda sol esser in ein silla kelpi. Just give myself a little time. Come on, Froda. You can do it. You can figure it out. Come on, past self.
At least in some sense, the game is very forgiving when you do stupid shit like this. There we go. See, I was like, oh, I have to drop down there. Oh, yeah.
Drawing of a horse. Clue for Ciri, must be. Kelpie. Another horse. Almost exactly like the last one. Let's see what this does.
Geralt, I don't know what you did, but it worked. Come back here.
Alright.
Look, they're opening. Let's go.
Well, now I know what distorted my effort at teleportation. This very portal.
And I know why I landed in that drowner nest.
You should be pleased you emerged from the portal in one piece.
And everyone still wonders why I hate to be teleported.
We must try to activate it.
Geralt's weird like that, and like he's okay with him.
Think that's a... swallow.
It worked. Come.
Sure it's safe?
Of course. The Elven mage prepared this passage for Ciri.
Geralt,
Come on now.
he uses his signs, but signs are pretty basic, simple magic. He's not really a big fan of, like, big magic, and he certainly doesn't like teleportation.
Gavella
It's dangerous.
It's grown awfully quiet.
Is that bad?
A bit like the calm before a storm. I've a bad feeling about this.
Tyrael not recognized. Intruders. Destroy the intruders.
Great.
Yeah. Golems are always fun to fight. They're very, very tough in pretty much every game I've ever played where you fight them. And they tend to be immune to a lot of things, too.
Just wonderful.
So clearly you want to stay away from it. It's got a lot of health, and it's going to hit very, very hard, and it's probably going to do a lot of AoE damage to area of effect. If you don't know what that is, it means any spell or ability that does a lot of damage to an area around you, basically. Because usually golems can do things like smash the ground in front of them and do damage to anybody in front of them within a certain radius or whatever. And because I've never fought a golem in this game before, you can't be sure what it's going to do until it does it. So, you know, I thought it best to sort of keep my distance as much as I could and just sort of jump in, hit it a few times, jump back out, regen my health, jump back in, rinse and repeat. And of course, hit it from behind as much as you can because you do so much more damage from behind. But it looks like some of its AoEs seem to be like a full 360-degree damage radius, which can be a problem. Which means you can't just stand right behind it and avoid being hit. You have to actually stay away from it. This is kind of what I mean by like that war of attrition style of fighting, where, you know, I kind of conserve my health, take my time, jump in, hit it, jump back out, jump back in, hit it, jump back out. There's a couple big smacks from this guy and I'd be dead, so you don't want to give it the chance to do that much damage. That charge is really obnoxious. It is really hard to dodge it too.
Umgal Scamina!
The trouble with doing something like this, of course, though, is that you do have limited potions at hand, and so you kind of have to conserve
And that
things.
would be that. I knew we'd manage.
That's so? Make sure and tell me beforehand next time.
So, you know, you only get 3 of any potion at one time,
My intuition's a fine
so you do have to sort of
instrument,
time it
Witcher.
correctly, too.
Don't underestimate it.
And know
I've
what's going
some
on.
very good feelings about you, for instance. In several domains.
Keira, you sure know how to sweet-talk a guy, I gotta tell ya. And this is the part where I do another dumbass thing and I start going back the way I came instead of forward the way I'm supposed to be going. I retraced my steps a little too far. I was like, ooh, another portal. No, that's the same portal I came in through, but I'm a dumbass. That's all. That's literally all. And I realized I'd gone too far and I had to reload the save because I didn't want to retrace my steps. It's like, wait a second. I was just in this room. That's not right. Am I supposed to go back? I thought I had to go back. I was like, do I have to go back this way? No, that ain't right. So. Didn't feel like running all the way back. But I mean, this is what I mean by like keeping some of my dumbass things in instead of cutting them out. Like, I don't know, I think it's kind of entertaining sometimes, and it's fun to sort of commentate over it, I guess, and just be like, look at what a dumbass I was. I have to admit, though, I scared the crap out of myself that I was going to have to fight the golem again when I went to load the save. I went to load a previous save and was like, wait a second. Yeah, this one here.
While searching for the witch Ciri had quarreled with, Geralt ran into an old friend, Keira. The sorceress told the Witcher about a masked mage. Ciri had seemed to have taken shelter in his hideout. The Witcher set off to find it, with Keira in tow.
Gavella Glan. It's grown awfully quiet.
Is that bad?
A bit like the calm before a
I was
storm.
like, wait a second, that golem's there again. No! Am I gonna have to fight it again? No! And I was like, crap!
While searching for the witch Ciri had quarreled with, Geralt ran into an old friend, Keira. The sorceress told the Witcher about a masked mage. Ciri had seemed to have taken shelter in his hideout. The Witcher set off to find it, with Keira in tow.
Gavella Glan.
And then I was like, oh yes, this is the right place.
And that would be that. I knew we'd manage.
That's so? Make sure and tell me beforehand next time.
My intuition's a fine instrument, Witcher. Don't underestimate it. I've some very good feelings about you, for instance. In several
You know how to
domains.
sweet talk a guy, Keira. Arrakis decoction. Nice. Alright, so this looks like a good place to stop for now. And we'll pick it up again with Keira and exploring the Elven Ruin, looking for Ciri the next time around. So yeah.